Hi everybody, it's Lori with Main Street Gardener. I'm in Zone 7B outside the DC metro area. And this week I am just knocking out a bunch of garden tasks. Number one on the list though is transplanting 2 large rose bushes. So in a previous video, I shared with you that this was a garden mistake. I planted these too close to these gorgeous crabapple trees and they're just getting too much shade and kind of falling over, trying to reach for the sun and not blooming as profuse as I think they can. So what I want to do today is go ahead and get these moved while they're still dormant. They are budding out really fast. So I want to go ahead and get these moved. So let's get started with these roses. I'm going to get our large auger. And actually my husband's going to help me with that auger. It's a beast. It's one of those great big ones. We're going to get a really nice large hole. I'm going to use some rose fertilizer, and then we're going to really get the root system here to be able to transplant these in a really healthy way. So I'm excited to get them in a new spot where they're just going to thrive. So let's get all our tools and get started. that I got all the roses moved, I've gotten them all trimmed back, they are ready for spring. I'm going to go in with an application of rose tone. So I prefer and have had great success with rose tone. I usually do it twice a year. So I'm going to do it in spring, and then I'm going to do it probably in June, sometime after a flush of flowers. Now, some people like to use a product. It's in a blue box by, I think it's by Bayer. I'll put a link to it in the description of the video. It is a great preventative treatment that you can also do. It helps prevent against black spot and mildew and things like that. So I'll include that link. Some years I've used that if we've been exceptionally wet, but otherwise I use rose tone. You can also use rose tone on other blooming flowers, so you can just check the label to see. Now, I do not measure. I just kind of go around the drip line and get it, kind of worked into the soil. And then on top, I'm going to dress it with some compost before our mulch goes down. All right, so let's just get after it. And I'm just going to go around and sprinkle it. You can do it, kind of as heavy as you like. And then I'm going to come in since I transplanted this one this year, I'm going to give it a little extra love. And then I am using mushroom compost. You could use cow compost. You could use land and sea. It's kind of whatever you like. And these are going to need a good soak today. So I'm going to get the water on and give them a nice soak of water. We are pretty dry for the next few days. So it's the end of the day. The sun is still out bright. I had to put on my sunglasses, but we got this project done. Every single rose is in its home for this season. It's been trimmed. It's had rose tone. It's had compost. And in about a week, it's going to get some mulch, just a top dress. I'm about a week away from having all the garden beds ready so that I can add that top layer of, I use like a compost mulch blend. So let me turn the camera around and I'm going to show you where all the roses ended up and how they look right now. All right. Okay, so let's start here. This little rose was not moved. This is an oh so easy rose, but I just wanted to show you kind of the roses in the garden. We did add some fertilizer and mulch to that one. I have another rose in the very back of this bed, and so there's only two in this bed, but we got those all taken care of. Now, if I slowly bring you around, remember we had the two large roses in the back, but we've moved those and they are right over here now. So right here is that small little kind of petite orange rose. I'm excited to see how it does. And then right here is the rolled doll. So looking all beautiful. I think this is going to be the most absolutely perfect spot for this. It's going to get so much sun. It's going to just shine in the garden. You'll be able to see it from the patio, and then you'll see it when you walk down through the garden. I think it's going to be really beautiful. Now, this is a small rose. It's a David Austin. It didn't do great last year. I'm going to see how it does. If I have to move it, I will, but I want to give it one more year. And then over here, I did get my hose link out, but this is going to be the Emily Bronte, and she is a beautiful rose with her structure, very vase-like, and her blooms are that soft pink. I think with all this full sun, I'm really excited to see what she does, and she should be able to get, 4 to 6 feet tall. So I think it's going to be really fun to see how she does in this space, and I hope she likes her new home. And then if we come over here, this was a oh so easy proven winners rose, and I had trimmed it back pretty hard. It kind of grew in a strange shape. It's kind of just got these two main branches, but I moved it over here where I had a container, and I think it's just going to fill in this space really beautiful with some orange bright color. And usually this stake back here is where I've had dahlias before. So I may be able to actually put a couple dahlias. That right there is a small hydrangea. It is, uh, I'm not sure of which kind that one is, but it stays about that size. So I think this area is going to look really pretty with that rose right there. And then you'll circle around and see the other roses. So that was all the roses that we moved. I did fertilize some roses in some other parts of the garden, but that is going to do it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope it is absolutely beautiful where you are and that you're able to get out into your garden and get some things done today.